Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to part 2 of session. What was it again?
30 some odd something. We're in the crime session.
Into 28. Session 28, and going from investigating a possible fate encounter to crimes.
Oh, Yuki and Cyrano can do the crimes. Magpie's like, you'll forgive me if I sit out this one.
Spoil sport.
I need to think on this myself. Like, she's trying to figure out a way to, either solve the problem or at least let the Fae know that, yeah, you may not be getting your payment anymore because they don't believe in you anymore.
I mean, we could always, in the course of abducting this lady, we could always put on fake costumes. Like, put little pixie wings on Yuki, or me, or Yuki.
Or I could just use disguise self.
Pixie wings, really, Si? You've seen Fae.
Yes, but these people haven't.
Well, I'd advise using the Fae that we met up with, aka the Shadow Fae, so you're looking predatory and mean.
Predatory and mean.
Granted, clearly they weren't, but you get the idea.
Predatory and mean. Well,
Your memory goes
I'm your Huckleberry.
Your memories go back to Primrose. When you encountered her, she was having a good day. You remember her when she's not having a good day.
Yeah, yes. my predatory and mean is just dinner conversation among my family.
Can we say that they're at like a tavern or something? So they're
listening? I assume we're at a tavern or something for this discussion.
Oh yeah.
So can Magpie listen around her for any gossip or anything that might give her some information?
You mainly find a tavern for the working class. So this case, it's more general bits and pieces, a few news sheets going about the place. The daily tribute is on nearly every table. And well, the lead story on the daily tribute is Noble's daughter still missing. Sources say it has become bird at guild in Outer Islands. Investigations continue.
Gonna take a look at one of those news sheets real quick.
Yeah, Cry, you have been in contact recently with Percy. It's a case of he knows what's happened. He knows what ball has been pulled, and he has been keeping investigators away from the guild for his own sake as well as yours.
Okay.
What you looking at? Fine, you'll tell me later.
I'm looking at the news. So sometimes it pays to keep abreast of what's going on. Would you like to read the news sheet, Yuki?
Very well.
Here you go.
And being the daily tribute, a basic equivalent to the UK The Sun, it does keep abreast of things on page 3. To the point of, it is an artist rendition of the model, and you're thinking, those are too big to be real.
We don't get those kinds of news sheets in the States.
Yes, we do. They're called the National Enquirer.
The National Enquirer doesn't show off straight up porn. Or does it? I don't know, actually. Weekly World News didn't.
There is a difference between porn and nudity. Nudity was the Sun at least did. I don't know if it still does. It's a case of I won't clean the toilets with the Sun.
Well, let's ask around the tavern and see what people think about the Dillon family here.
You ask around, and well, the general consensus is they're all right. They're decent for the most part. They mostly honour deals that I feel are worthwhile honouring. Every now and again, it's a case of despite the world they live in, they're highly anti-superstitious. They don't believe in the Fae. They don't believe in ghosts.
The hell do they believe in?
Money.
Pretty much.
Old hard cash.
The colder, the harder, the better.
So they don't believe in the dollar bill. Got it.
Now the dollar bill, when it was worthwhile.
They believe in the brick of gold.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's a brick of gold under that bedroom mattress.
So what you're telling me is we need to also steal their mattress and possibly eat it.
It's a mattress. A good God, no!
Eat the mattress.
So basically, these folks believe only in what makes the money and what they can see with their own eyes.
In sorts, you really want to put it down to them. Rather, if they can't see it, touch it, taste it, they don't believe in it.
Now, I understand health is skepticism, but there are Fae. So I think proof is what we need to bring them. But I don't know how. You don't just tell Fae to do something. That's impossible.
We could go back to my original idea.
I didn't fully kibosh it. I just said I'm not helping with it because I'd rather not kidnap somebody. Personally.
We all know aristocrats aren't people.
Especially this one. She doesn't count as a... She's not a person.
Looks at both you and I am dating a fucking noble, remember you two?
See, he's a drow. There's a difference.
He's still a person.
Also,
Drow are people. Aristocrats are not people.
keep it on the tie that the Midnights are the only nobles that Magpie has successfully made a good impression with. Gillian is more neutral towards her. Granville and Lady Kiki, she needs to work on earning some amount of respect.
Remind me of that. Look.
So we need to find a way to prove to her that the Fae exist.
The question is, how?
Are any of Sai's extended associates around on this island?
You have a distant cousin The problem is, he can't remember his name. And, well, the only reason that he's on this island because he's got something of a gambling addiction, and it's only the only place where he can be where he won't get the best of him.
Oh God! All of Sai's family has so many issues, and we haven't even met the one member of his family yet.
Question. Would Magpie know if there's going to be further consequences if next generation there's still no song? Noting that this has been happening for a while.
Oh, anyone can put 2 and 2 together and put together there's going to be more lost memories down the line.
And eventually they may end up taking the firstborn kids to take a message.
It also comes down to, is the Lord going to take what happened to him seriously, or is it just going to be a bad dream? Because one of the things you've learnt about the Delins is the Lord is the blood heir that inherits the family. The lady is the one who just married into it.
Which makes sense.
Mhm.
That would
the Lord...
that would explain why she's not taking the bargain seriously at all.
Yeah.
Well, then why isn't the Lord taking it seriously?
He might have been henpecked into not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Nah, she does seem like the type. Though I am very curious. I am very curious. Do you think the Lord will take it seriously when he wakes up without that memory, whatever it may be?
Depends on the
memory.
depends on the nature of what was taken. It could be something as insignificant as a specific birthday. It could be his knowledge of how to play the penny whistle. It could be his marriage. It could be the birth of one of their children. We don't know.
Ivan, would Magpie know what memories Fae tend to take, by nature in general?
Nope. She just had their importance.
They have to be important to the person. So while that could be anything, I think it would still be something that would stick in his craw, like, why am I forgetting this? She's thinking back to her losing her memories of Malcolm. It could be even an entire person they can take. Trust me, I know that one all too well.
Perhaps they took the knowledge of Toby mugs.
That'd be a blessing.
Until he re-entered the house, and then he got that back, and immediately he'd be the second person to get a Fae memory restored, albeit in a more harmful way.
It's at this point. Package for Mr. Cry. Well, Mr. Cyrano.
Oh God, it must be from the family.
If that thing punches you, I'm out of here.
Opens the package.
It's basically just some kid who's just basically earning some money. Not one of the messengers that basically kicks the crap out of you, that sneaks the message onto you.
No, she's not talking about the messenger. She's talking about the package itself.
It still would come by messenger. And you would know a messenger when you saw one.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's just a box covered in brown paper.
So, do we open it?
Welp opens it with my 8 wisdom and no survival instinct.
A torrent of custard hits you in the face.
I knew it.
How the hell does Zarzip know where... Is Zarzip on this island? Cause he could help us.
Can Zarzip contact Faye? Because I sure as hell can't.
There's a note hidden in the hidden bottom compartment, under all the mechanics and the gubbins. You're asking how I did this? I have boxes on all the islands.
That, admittedly, that is something he would do. And to be fair, he technically does have the influence to pull that off. Technically.
Also noted, the lady in the suit says hi.
You know, I do roll in exalted circles when I want to.
Raven, off the topic question.
Yes.
Are they normally spotted on this island, or is it too industrialized for them to even want to be here?
By all accounts, Fae have never been seen on this island. For several generations, they don't even believe Fae exists.
And, you know, part of the problem is this island is so industrial that they kind of avoid it. They're not fond of mechanicals, you know?
That would explain why they waited for the Lord to be away from here in order to kidnap him.
And why they couldn't come with us.
It's at this point a letter just floats down from the ceiling in front of you.
Which one of us?
You.
Magpie opens it and reads it.
It's a very fanciful script, and it reads, "It's not that we can't be there, we just got business elsewhere."
Okay,
Ta-ra.
fair enough. Okay, they just have business elsewhere. I wonder if that means they know the situation now, that it's literally a lack of belief.
I mean, in theory, we could always wait until tomorrow for the Lord to come back, wait to figure out what memory he has lost, and then see how big a problem it is, and then offer to help. Or we could just burn the fucking house down.
Try and make me an idea roll.
An idea roll?
Yes. Bet you D20 to roll up straight.
I have no good ideas. This is a 6.
You still have the wits to know that you got to this island by the shadow path, which only took you about 20 minutes. The travel time between this island and the islands where you were is at least a week.
Okay! So it's gonna be a while before the Lord could potentially come back. Got it! So we need to solve this sooner than later.
Yeah, a week is a bit too long to wait. We may have to do Yuki's kidnapping plan. But the question is, do we want the guards of this island running after us?
She mentioned she believes in the dragons, right?
Oh, dragons are no doubt real. It's at this point there's a few of the local dragons kobolds are out at the bar having a drink.
What was the name of the dragon that Lisu married?
Fucking spoilers, man.
What is the name of a dragon? The thing.
Aloysius?
No.
There's the Pixie War dragon Aloysius.
The dragon you know that tolerated you went by the nickname of Gaff.
Gaff.
I think.
Well, I am. I am. I do still technically have that job. Technically. Very technically.
Despite you have not been near the woman for near enough a few years now.
Listen, the only reason Psy still exists is because he had that job. He is technically a very important person. Technically.
Yes, and when the family learnt of the marriage, they were not happy with you.
But it means that I am important in dragon circles. Sort of. I've got connections.
Yes, and that connection is the only reason why Lady Kiki isn't going to incinerate you on sight.
I have diplomatic immunity, damn it. Sai is bad at most things.
What's going on at the moment? Get a will building at most.
I am technically an ambassador to and from dragons.
Shame you didn't meet our island dragon. Aloysius would have loved you.
Alright. How do we want to go about this? I could go in as an emissary of the Dragon Gaff, or do we have better ideas?
I'm coming up empty. And unfortunately, like I said, it's looking like more and more we may have to do Yuki's kidnapping plan. But how would we get... Well, where would we go from there?
Well, we need to prove... We could prove to her that the Fae are real, or I can try to bluff her into thinking it's an order from the dragons, which she does believe in. Or we can say, the hell with it, and it's not our problem, and let her deal with it. Or we can burn her house down.
Try the dragon thing first, because that seems like maybe she'll listen to that. Because you ain't denying dragons are real. Every island pretty much has a dragon as far as I know.
Well, I am going to have to dust off my loquaciousness and my manners for this. I'm not sure she will believe me, but even though she believes in the dragons.
It's at this point where you know she did notice that everyone else seems to be holding down the tables, holding their glasses, as something comes flying overhead. You hear a heavy wind beat and just the whole tavern shakes from it.
I feel like I have offended the gods in some way. Must be Tuesday again.
Does Magpie recognize what the sound is?
A waiter passes by, don't you? And don't mind that. That's just a 5 o'clock patrol of the Island Dragon. It's nothing.
Well, perhaps maybe if we can't bring Lady Delenne to the mountain, we can bring the mountain to Lady Delenne. Perhaps I can arrange for an audience with the dragon, and have the dragon convince Lady Delenne. Of course, I'm not sure how successful we will be at this. We would have to convince the dragon that the Fae interfering with things on this land would be a problem for the dragon.
I think the dragon might believe us more than Lady Delenne, because dragons tend to be fairly old, so to speak. Like a few thousand years.
Oh, a bit of lore about the dragons of the Shattered Isles that's never been able to work in, and it probably will be worked in a decent way. But those that understand dragons, they have never seen any dragon of any type beyond the adult stage. Yeah, they're a few thousand years old, but it's a case of they've never seen any ancient or older dragons.
That is useful for me to know for things later. I appreciate knowing that.
Well, as one DM to a future DM, I am always open to questions, especially about this world of mine.
To the kobolds first and see if they can help you out with that.
Alrighty.
Yuki's already outside screaming, "Dragon!"
Yuki, let's refine the kidnapping plan just to, make sure.
She's shouting at the dragon.
I'm not trying to get back inside.
Remember, she can speak Draconic.
Yes, this is a problem.
Yeah, the problem is that by the time Yuki was outside, the dragon has already flown off.
Yeah.
Dragon waking you.
So there are kobolds on this island, yes?
Yep.
In the bar.
Yep.
Pardon me, my good reptilian friends. Do any of you happen to know a kobold named Zazip?
We know he puts out the Trickster's newsletter every month.
Excellent, excellent. Do you know anything else about him?
Master Trapsmith got his thing for custard. Also, in the back of every newsletter, it states that if you can get a picture of you hitting this guy called Cyrano, there's something in the face of a custard pie, he'll send you 5 gold.
Well, follow-up question. How acquainted are you with the dragon of this island?
With the maintenance crew. We help keep the lighthouse working. No, we don't give tours. Good God, the engineering guilds keep bothering us for that.
Well, would you happen to know anyone who could perhaps arrange an audience with the local dragon?
Well, we can have a word with the go-between. He can see you, and if you can convince him that your cause is needy and important enough, he may talk to the dragon on your behalf.
What if, say, the person who wanted an audience was an emissary from the Dragon Gaff?
Why does he want to visit the island? He knows the rules. No dragon on other dragons' territories.
Oh, heaven forbid he intrudes on another territory, but sometimes, you have to send messages.
Honestly, it doesn't matter or not if associated with another dragon or not. It's just as long as the cause is important enough. Blah blah blah.
Well,
Yep.
is the well-being of the noble families on this island a cause of importance?
The kobolds get into a huddle and just whisper along one another.
To be fair, that is a point worthy of discussion.
We don't know. Is it a case of this trouble? Is it going to be amusing?
That is a good question. Would Fey intrusion be of interest to the Lord Dragon of this island?
You hear the three kobolds just huddle again and go. Although you swear you hear at one point one of them going weasel, weasel, badger, badger, weasel, weasel.
Did we just find Cobalt Lantern?
You know what? Data me Labrador. We'll have a word for you. You be here in the morning?
I believe I'll be here in the morning. Oh, and as special thanks, if you happen to have a method of getting custard pies and a way of getting images, I do believe today is a good opportunity for each of you to make 5 gold.
One of them pulls out a rather well-used copy of Zarzip's Trickster Monthly. They pull out they look at the little back page. Look at you, back page. Look at you, back page.
That's what I was hoping would happen. Yes.
That's 15 gold. 50 goes a lot of money. Okay, we get you the appointments in the morning. We hope you're ready for some custard pies. They rub their hands with greedy glee.
If a grossly misspent life has taught me anything, it's to always be prepared for custard pies. Today, Sai abuses his contacts for fun and profit.
Well, the kobolds get the profit, we get the fun.
Yep.
And it's not been a full recording segment, but I think I'll call it that for now. It's been mostly playing, bit of world building, that whatnot. So we'll try wrapping this up in the third part.
Alrighty.
So until next time, be good, be well, and beware deliveries from a kobold called Zarzip.
If you're Sai.
If you're sorry.
I mean, in general, he's a tricksy bastard.
Later, folks.
Later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.